brings you here to this event that just ended?
This wonderful event that we just had. Okay,
Yeah.
So your wonderful tax dollars are used for a certain purpose. You get your tax dollars for a certain thing. This is unfortunately tax dollars payers land. So we go with your tax dollars. These are your countries here that you're Twin City with here in Toronto. These are the only flags that I can accept right now as a Canadian for you to decide to fly willingly, as long as it's, within reason. The Canadian flag also, and any Ontario flag as in the corner over there. They are more than welcome as they are provincial and within Canada. Okay, now again, Canadian land, Canadian tax dollars lands, meaning your money, my money. So for it to not be an equally needed or necessity for us and our dollars, I cannot justify this. Okay. Secondly, with everything going on in the world, again, can't justify a lot of things. If you are not a peaceful country like us, I cannot justify it.
Right.
And I mean, it's not, I love people, right? How do you work with yourselves? How do you convey? How do you treat others? How do you respect others? Stuff like that. Like, I'm obviously, yes, I'm yelling things, but not swearing or anything like that. But you get people from the other side giving you the finger and everything else under the sun. And so it's one of those things where it's like, okay, there's a right way of doing things and a wrong way. So I can see how things are a little more harsher on their side, maybe. I don't know. But at the end of the day, you came to Canada for a reason, to be Canadian.
Right.
Okay. So red and white, right? Obviously, I am totally okay with you at home flying your flags because your culture, so stuff like that, right? You all have backgrounds. We all have backgrounds.
Yeah.
So that I'm okay with. I understand. But tax dollars, land, that's where it gets a little tricky.
Right.
So like I say, women's rights, gay rights, cannabis rights, human rights, period, the land rights, if they were equivalent to us here, then but they're not. They're very anti a lot of stuff. So it's one of those things where you're like, how?
Yeah.
And some of the videos that I see, how did city council willingly accept and do that?
Yeah.
I don't even like the other flags that I've seen put up in the past little bit. So that's why I was very like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, no genocide, no nothing. It's peaceful here in Canada. Let's only stick with our Canadian ethics and roots when it comes to respecting Canada.
Right.
That I see as a disrespect.
Yeah. Yeah, because that leads me to my other question, because it's like you have Palestinians who live in Canada, you have Israelites who live in Canada, and there's a war going on, and both sides, there's many people getting hurt and everything like that, but there's one flag going up, but not the other flag going up.
So the other one went up a little while ago, they told me, which is okay, fine. Now, I still have an issue with that because of everything going on, so that they should not have done.
Okay, when was that put up?
Apparently a month or so ago. Anyways, I lost.
That didn't get any big footage, did it?
Mississauga apparently put that flag up too yesterday or something. I only knew about Calgary.
But did the Israel flag, did it go up a month ago? Is that what you're talking about?
Longer.
Oh.
Don will know more.
Okay.
But yeah, no. So either way, it's one of those things where this is Canadian land, and it's just no. There's so much disrespect. It's unfunny.
Right.
You came to Canada for a better life, did you not?
Of course.
Of course. So the moment you cross over onto this land, what do? You wrap yourself in that red and white, and you try and forget all the horror that you just left.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Warm hug, red and white. Okay? I understand roots and backgrounds and pride.
Yeah.
So that's where I go, fly your pride flag if you want. Fly your Italian flag. Fly your German flag. Fly your Jewish flag. I don't care. But in your own area, your own private, not taxpayers, and you're on Canadian land, you love Canada then. You then are a maple syrup loving little person.
Right. I hear you. So I mean, what would it take for I don't know, like Canadians to get on board? Like, 'cause I mean, you go across the border, and they probably wouldn't fly a flag like that.
Probably would have been, today would have been a shit if that was even an option, you know what I mean? And especially in the South. So it's one of those things where I go, ooh, it's a very tough and rough subject.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I want to get your perspective as well.
So I have a problem with, we have so many problems in this country. Why we suddenly focus on everything on Palestine? So suddenly we have to bend back for it. I'm a Christian. In the last 5-6 years, there have been 1,200 churches burnt or vandalized. And what's happening in, nobody's talking about what's happening to...
No media coverage?
No, there's hardly any media covered how many Christians are getting killed in Africa. And suddenly we have to back for these people. Of course, I don't like hate. I don't like war, but I think there's something else behind. I think the Islamic fanatics are behind it. They're getting funded. That's what I believe in. Why do so many people here on the other side? Because most Canadians are working. They don't have time for this. And I really believe there's a lot of people. They're taking our tax money and they demonstrate. Not all of them, but you know what? I don't have respect anymore for them. And I don't say, well, Israel's right, Palestine's right. I don't think that they're ever going to be peace there. And eventually Israel will take it all. And the Palestinians, they say the same thing. They don't want peace. They want Israel back. That's what's happening. That's not going to happen either. But if you see what in the history, countries gave up land, like Germany after World War II had to take a quarter of Germany, went to Poland for paying them back. If I was there in Palestine, I'd say, you know what? Life is too short. I'm going to go to a free country and live my life. But don't try to push stuff on us. We have enough problems. We have problems with people dying from drugs. We have mental illness going through the roof. We have people who don't have enough to eat. Now we have to focus on these guys? No. I'm sorry. Canada first. You know? And even with this new government, they don't care about us.
No.
You know, prices go up. They don't care.
No.
Dollars on horse.
You know, we have to stop and say enough is enough. And I stand up for the people who can't today, who can't make it to work. I have time. And I will stand up for my kids and my grandkids and say, you know what? If you want free Palestine, go live in Palestine, in Gaza. I see how much freedom you have. You don't have freedom as a human.
That's why they're here, right?
That's why I was like, why couldn't you protest back home? And they just look at you and give you the finger. And it's like, why don't you protest back home? Why don't you fix back home? And they just look at you like, and it's like, why are you being sour? I'm asking you a serious question. Why did you come to Canada? Why don't you fix your home if you really love it that much? Why aren't you doing something about it? Why are you trying to manipulate here and alter it when you really have no interest in here? Make sense to me, please, because I can't make sense of it. All I got is you want to come here, cause not fix your own home and bitch about it, and then look at us like we're the problem. This is something. I opened my home to you. We could have closed that 24 years ago and not let anybody in. And what do? We just keep piling you guys in and helping and helping and helping and helping and giving and giving. Explain to me, what did I miss? Because I can't figure it out. Other than someone above us is doing a dance that they shouldn't do. With countries, they shouldn't do a dance with.
Yeah, because you know we are a nation that have many nations, but at the end of the day, it's all about flag on the back of your jacket, right?
That's all we need. We don't need any flags. Even a white flag. I see in my hometown there's still flag on the one school.
They can't even have gate. Like,
no, they can't.
Over there.
They throw you off the roof. But they use the gate, the left side, to get the side. You know, they don't go after they don't ask a conservative person to join them. There's not many conservatives joining them, you know.
They won't legalize their weed over there either.
Yeah.
They won't try and fight for anything back home. They'll just us and say we're racist, and it's like, no. My German family went back to Germany to fight for the Germans, to help save the actual Germans that were being mutilated by a douchebag named Hitler.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, explain to me. My Italian family went back home to deal with Mussolini. So explain to me again.
And they call us neo-Nazis. They call us neo-Nazis. I'm from Holland, right? My grandparents fought the Nazis. I'm not a neo-Nazi. You know, and then they call you a right-wing fanatic. Well, sorry, I'm on the right side. But personally, I do not like Donald Trump. I'm not like the MAGA or whatever. I just stand up for this country. I have nothing to do with Donald Trump. You know. So, but if I have friends who like Donald Trump, that's okay.
That's on your own.
But I still friends with, but not this stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
people always trying to twist the narratives and try to make it like it's one side or the other.
Extreme right. Even the media say we are extreme right. We're not extreme right. No. You know, I think every human being has a right to demonstrate. 100%. They have a right to do this too. This is my country. I pay taxes, and I disapprove of other flag than the Canadian flag on that pole. Simple.
Right. It's so funny. You did mention today being Monday. It's like they didn't. It was on purpose. They didn't do this on a Saturday.
No,
Because it would have been a totally different story with people not having to rush to work and go back to lunch and stuff.
At 9 o'clock in the morning, right? For us outside, it's hard to get here through the traffic. It's all planned, you know.
Yeah. But this could have very well been a Saturday event, but they know there would have been some chaos, you know. Yes.
I know Jamaicans, they go home and they fix Jamaica. You know, like Cubans, they go home and they fix Cuba.
Yeah.
Like they actually, they'll fight for here, but they'll also fight for their own home and not just go, oh, well, screw you. You're the you're the racist. But we won't go home and tell our government that they're being idiots and torturing our own people. Explain this to me. Explain why you can't go home and protest, but you'll come here and cause.
And then another thing I have a problem with, they say free Palestine. If you live
free?
No, but it's not free.
Well, yeah.
It's you don't live under dictatorship. It's not free. It's Islamic law that the women don't have rights, the kids don't have rights, and the gays don't have rights. And then they say, well, Israel, but you have free in Israel. I'm not for Israel, but you are allowed to be gay. They even have a gay parade. You couldn't do that in Gaza.
If you're with people, we are with people.
Yeah.
We're against people. What?
Right. But I think a lot of people like me and you, we are frustrated to see our own country going down the tube.
Should have.
A lot of Canadians,
Yeah, and you know what?
I thought I was alone and surrounded by immigrants. No offense.
Let's focus.
I was alone. I could do this.
Let's focus on what we have our own problems with, drugs and mental illness and all kinds of stuff. We have to focus on Canada. And I'm sorry about Palestine. You guys go back to Palestine and fix it, just like you said. But we have to fix this country. We have big problems here. And 2026,
Stop sticking our money out of our pocket.
2026 is going to be a very interesting year because it's going to hit the fan for a lot of people. But that's my opinion, okay? I don't want to be negative.
Especially if the current government gets a majority government. God help us. God help us.
We are done.
We're burning it down, baby.
I go every year to the World Economic Forum, and I always say Trudeau was part of the World Economic Forum. Carney is the World Economic Forum. He is.
Hammond Ford.
In my opinion, he's going to quit next year. When he made his money through Workfield and everything, he's going to quit. There's nothing for the Canadians he's going to do. Nothing. And it's all a smoke show. You know, but that's my opinion, okay?
Yeah.
So
it's all good.
But what he says, Muslim values are Canadian values. Are you kidding me?
Last time I checked, we were Christians.
Yes.
Christians, spiritual Christian land, because this is different.
And I have respect for every. I have to have respect for every religion. But if that religion, when they don't have human rights, like women's rights and children's rights, I have a problem with that. I really do have a problem with that. I do not want to. And if you want to, don't. But not in Canada. If you want to do somewhere else, you know, like you see in Afghanistan, you know that they're so poor now that they marry young kids, 10 years. I mean, selling them to guys from 60, 70 years old. And it's disgusting to me. We have to stop that. You know, but nobody's doing
practice over there. That's why we ran away from over there.
Yeah.
So the reason why I was yelling about human trafficking is because, honestly, no offense to anybody, but a huge part of like our issues has to do with people with money over there coming and doing a bunch of and new, and then they go home. And anyway, so it's like a big taboo. And
where's the security? I wasn't allowed to horn, but they're allowed to do this. This is ridiculous.
Oh, they got speakers up there.
Okay, I'm gonna go inside now.
Fair, right?
They got speakers up there, and they're doing. That's why I was trying to yell over it earlier.
Yeah. Well, you know, I thank you for your time and give us a lot of stuff to think about.
Thank you for coming out too. It's nice to see you both.